Yo, what is up guys? My name is Creature Play and welcome to my newest player review video. I'd like to first give a shout out to Dalboon as always for helping me grab this footage. Today we're going to be reviewing 98 overall Campus Legend Johnny Manziel. He offers 7 to ground and pound style as well as speed run, 94 speed with 95 acceleration, 97 elusiveness, 96 juke, 93 spin. Throwing power is at 96, his accuracies fall at 98 short, 93 medium, 94 deep, with crazy 99 throw on the run, kind of low 79 play action. As of Tuesday, March 22nd, he's going for about 1.5 average on PS4 and about 1.45 on Xbox One. So to start off, we're going to get into his rushing and scrambling abilities. I will give credit where credit is due. He's not bad, he's not horrible, but I mean if you followed him back in his college days, you know this is really what he shines at, and it doesn't translate as well as you'd hope in MUT. I think it may be fair to say that this is obviously one of the big reasons that you would want him on your team, but really compared to Wilson or Mariota, he doesn't really play that different. His speed's pretty similar, his juking and spin are just about the same, and when you take into consideration, his high elusiveness and other rushing stats, you'd kind of expect something a little different from, quarterbacks that you can grab for about 175,000 now. But to be honest, like I said, I really didn't see that much of a difference, and I used Wilson for quite a long time, so I think I can fairly compare the two, and like I said, there really wasn't that much of a difference. His read options were no problem at all. I definitely thought his low 79 play action would affect it. You'll see that in a little bit when we get to that, but I'm assuming read options have nothing to do with your play action stat, because he's only got 79 and players were still definitely falling for it. But when we get to the play action category, it is a completely different story. And another thing that I didn't like was that he got injured 3 times in just one game. I've never had that many injuries from a quarterback, but I would deal with that over and over again if I didn't have to deal with this fumbling issue that he has. This is out of one test game that we were doing, and he fumbled 8 times. Now granted, yes, 1 or 2 of them were in the middle of a pump fake, but the majority of them were him just getting tackled, as you can see. There were 1 or 2 from a hit stick, as you can see right there, but as I said, the majority of them were just from regular tackles. When you have a quarterback that's got 82 carrying, this is something that you really expect to not have to deal with. Comparing him again to Wilson and Mariota, they fumbled way less than I did with this Manziel. So if you grab him and decide to rush with him, protect the ball every single time. His play action was just as bad as his fumbling, if not even more at times. That 79 is just a deal breaker. We tried it out on every single type of defender that we could get a play action read from, and I am not exaggerating or using it as hyperbole when I say that not one single time did a defender fall for the play action or give a second thought to just straight rushing the quarterback. I run a lot of play action, and this was a huge problem for me and another reason as to why I could never keep him. Again, giving credit where it is due, I can say that he definitely shrugged off defenders for sacks more than Mariota or Wilson ever had combined. And this wasn't with me using the QB avoidance with the stick on my own. This was him just completely doing it AI controlled while I was still trying to get a pass off. His throwing accuracy short was not an issue at all. If anything, that was probably the thing that he actually did best. I don't even have one clip of him missing a throw or throwing off target. His short is by far the best thing that he does throwing wise. You could see that clip 1 or 2 ago with Gates where he just completely jumped up in the air and reached in front of his face, and as well right there with Dez. Just perfect placement to be able to get that high pass or that low pass off and be able to make the play and come through. Felt very clutch, even though he doesn't have that trade or anything. I could rely on him in short. Medium was second best. He did it pretty much just as well at his short pass. I did get one clip at the end of this series you will see coming up that he missed, but that was probably out of maybe 25-30 throws. So medium, he has no problem at all. I'm leading all of these passes as well, and his accuracy is still spot on. Even under pressure, there were a couple times that I didn't include in here where I got clips, but he had no problem throwing it anywhere in the middle range. Here's the pass where he missed. I'm assuming it was just a one-off, but not that big of a deal. Deep is a different story. He definitely does have a decent deep ball. It's not horrible. As you can see right there, that's a pretty far pass. Definitely on target. But his deep accuracy was definitely the worst out of all three. And I'd say 1 out of probably every 3 or 4 deep balls you threw were either underthrown, overthrown, or just off to the side a little bit. Great power, like I said, so if your receiver can actually get to wherever he's throwing it, you have a pretty good chance of making it. Right there you can see that was about 10-15 yards off to the side. This is what he did a lot on deep. I noticed he underthrew the ball so that my receivers would have to stop where they were running and come back to try to make up for it. He overthrew it just a little bit there, but there's another example of the underthrow, so kind of an issue there. His throw on the run was one of the things that I had the most fun with. He had 100% completion rate on his test, just as he did with short pass. I know I said short was what he did better than anything else, but I would argue that this is something he did just as good, if not better actually. The difference between the short and this is that I was purposely trying to find ways to make him miss a throw on the run, whether it meant, you know, putting a streak on the opposite side of the field 40-50 yards out and throwing it, or throwing it off of my back foot on the opposite side right there, and he still managed to make the throws. Right there, that was like a 45-yard pass on the complete opposite side of the field, and he still had no problem doing it. So my overall assessment of this card, for the price that he goes for, he is not worth it, in my opinion. The things that he does great, throwing on the run, you know, short accuracies, there are other quarterbacks who are good at that, maybe not as good at throwing the run, but much cheaper, and to be honest, will probably not fumble as often or get injured or have horrible play action. Thank you guys for checking out my video. I'm probably going to be putting out another one this week just because I have so many ready to go. As always, thank you guys for watching. Take care.